Hey guys, Tightrope here, bringing you a 2v2 today. We are on Minsk Pocket. Today spawning in the south is Aughmor playing as Soviets, immediately locking into Combined Arms Army. Tearing out with him is Sir Marvell as US forces going for Airborne. From the north we have Bissonnette playing as Ostheer with Armour, German Mechanized and Joint Operations, and finally Troyd. Also with Ostheer, who has Spearhead, Blitzkrieg, and German Mechanized. This is a Patreon backer submitted game. Ranged team on the Allied side, but the ranks are hidden now, I guess decayed. I only received this replay about a week ago. Less than a week ago, actually. And back the other way, Bissonnette. A little bit over rank 10, like in the low teens. Troyd around 200. But in terms of other rankings, maybe I think Sir Marvell's around 300 random teams. Aughmor's in like around rank 120 arranged teams with somebody else, so seems like a slight edge by Bissonnette being so highly ranked for the Axis. So it's going to be a maximum start here for Aughmor. Bring that out onto the field. Double Pathfinders meanwhile, just the standard US meta for Sir Marvell. Pathfinders find these grenadiers. Troyd not going for a machine gun himself. This does mean that this side of the map is open. Here goes one squad. The Allies are really thundering down the center of the map. The machine gun over here rotating across. It's got a Pathfinders a little bit further back. But with their long range vision, can be hard for those Ostheer machine guns to actually get anything going. Get in the right position. Jumping down here onto the cutoff. It's not really cutting too much off at this stage, just what the rear echelon are capping here. Getting up to the north with these conscripts. Mine down early on. Not pushing in too far there with that Maxim. And the Pathfinder blob rotating finds a grenadier a little isolated. Dying very quickly. A lot of those crits proccing there, it looked like. And then they, with that long range vision, dodge away before the machine gun can get any damage done on them. But okay, bit of a bait there by this grenadier squad. It allows some suppression, but there's not really enough follow-up there to keep them suppressed, it doesn't look like.
The enemy is overrunning one of our capture points.
I was eventually forced away up there. We're over a mine on retreat. Squad's still living though. I think that was a 2-model unit, right? Luckily only lost 1 model to the mine. The echelon now outnumbered in the corner. The Pathfinders continuously moving around in a group here. And the Axis are doing a reasonable job spreading out. Troyd actually opting for a sniper here. Did go for a late machine gun as well. Snipers, you know, are susceptible to the Pathfinders. Maybe a little bit surprising. It's way out the back at the moment.
Our opponents are seizing a sector.
Water barraging away. Sniper's starting to get a few shots, but here comes the Pathfinder blob.
Our headquarters has been
Those grenadiers will not last long.
We can now build light mechanized infantry. Enemy forces are securing our territory.
Capping up on the far edge with the combat engineers. Axis do lose control of their fuel for quite some time.
Territory is out of contact.
Again, like these machines... Oh, there we go. Conscript dead. Trying to capture the point. That sniper eventually claiming the whole squad. MG just slowly working its way in. But yeah, with the Pathfinder vision, really having trouble with the Axis positioning these machine guns to get efficiency from them.
Upgrade complete.
Fighting position coming up, covering the fuel for the allies. 222 in the build for Bissonnette. Troyd having gone for a sniper as well as a machine gun. Doesn't have his one in construction yet, but could do.
Now we can sweep for enemy mines.
LMG posting up over here. Some LMG's starting to come through now on these Grenadiers. Pathfinder's quick to retreat actually. They might have tried to hold their ground. 7 kills so far from the sniper after a strong start there, Troyd. And here comes the 222. Do have an AT gun for Sir Marvell. Just rolling onto the field now though. And only the one Maxim for Aughmor, which is interesting. Oftentimes when players go for a tier 2 Maxim start, they'll go for 2 in the early phase. Good hoorahing in, and they do actually have anti-tank grenades, so that's not an empty threat. Oh! Nasty hit there from the mortar, but the 222 coming into range. No attack ground though. Oh! Should have retreated after that first shell. So Sir Marvell losing the rear echelon. That's pain. Needed an attack ground attempt there. I think it's elevation wise a pretty good chance of it landing. And now nothing to repair up this fighting position. Eventually going to get blasted out by the mortar, which already up to 7 kills. Tremendous start. Combat engineers also came out to try and repair it, but too little, too late. Got a US mortar for Sir Marvell now. Conscripts hoorahing in from the side, hoping to catch the sniper. I think it is slightly damaged. But look at all these LMG Grenadiers here, chopping through those conscripts real fast. Maxim a little bit too far back. Maybe needs to just be attack moved forwards during this fight. This push is not going too well for the allies. The T-gun a little bit too far forwards there. And Maxim has finally pushed in. Grenadiers retreating. Molotov out on the mortar actually, doing some nice damage to it. And that gets decrewed. Maxim coming in, eventually suppressing one unit, but it's right on the edge of the range. And look at this territory control for the Axis. Allies not opting to go for any light vehicles, and that's allowed that 222 to be a real thorn on their side. And no tier 3 down for Aughmor. So they're not going to have a light vehicle to answer this. So Marvell also not opting for the anti-air half-track. Axis have both gone for AT guns though, so that could actually allow the Allies a bit of a way back into this game, even though they've, you know, lost their rear echelon, lost fighting position. Having a very bad KDs at the moment. You know, the Axis, one each, have a useless unit at this stage.
We are losing a sector.
Okay, conscripts trying to work their way in here, but MG sits out of it up at a great angle for Troyd. And here come the LMG Grenadiers and the sniper to really turn up the manpower bleed. And what can you do against a formation like this as a Soviet player without a T-70? very little. He's going to go for his disc barrage though. Moderate hit, quite a lot of scatter at that range. Going to force away the machine gun at least. But yeah, until you get the 7-man conscripts, you just cannot take these trades. This is where you kind of need the light vehicle to help fight back. That's the Soviet player. Paratroopers upgraded with the Thompsons. It's nice to see. Don't see those too often. All rifle grenade and they are clumped up on that light cover log. Luckily the model carrying the gun survived and it was actually quick wheeling its way out of there. But this is a real nightmare for Aughmor. Let's mix things up there. It's the manpower bleed. Atrocious right now. Got a bit of damage onto the sniper there. But yeah, this is tough for the allies.
Yeah. On your feet, ladies. Make sure that bar is good to go.
And the triple cap is running. Allies aren't actually that far behind on VP, so at this stage they did have, you know, a stronger early game in the very early phases with that Pathfinder blob. Starting to branch out a bit, but they are cut off. Don't see this cut off too often these days. Used to be a big feature of the map before it got redesigned. Always, so it's like it used to be way too hard to actually cap the fuel. And you always go for these cut-offs instead, but yeah, don't see it too often now. But Axis briefly able to execute it here. But yeah, again, another issue with not having a light vehicle is you don't have anything to force this unit out of the building. It's kind of a bit too hard to rotate a mortar up there, especially for a mobile squad like the Grenadiers. They can just jump out and everything's fine after that. So allies are feeling the burn from no light vehicle play. Yeah, this is such a large map, like anti-tank guns do have trouble containing light vehicles. Which is partially what we see from Sir Marvell. It's 222. Hasn't taken much damage so far. Here comes a big old US blob and does have the Major out now, dropping down the artillery. It's one way of clearing out the building.
300 points remaining.
It's a surprise clearing off the machine gun from the center. And it doesn't look like Bissonnette noticed that Major artillery dropping down. He's got to be careful, one more shell. And the Grenadiers did, and they dropped the LMG. Oh, Bissonnette, what was he doing? Brain AFK there. Okay, well the Allies needed something like that to happen. Also managed to push onto the central victory point. Recon plane up for Aughmor, but we do have that 222 trying to shoot down, and a Panzer IV rolling up for Troyd with a fast timing. This AT gun has pushed all the way forwards and already equipped the AP rounds. The thing is, though, honestly, Troyd could have just driven up here, decrewed this, and just won the game. Like, no snares at all, no mines. The Soviet is this far away from rotation. That could have been a GG move. But it's hard, I suppose, you know, your instincts as a player is that that's too reckless, but you have to recalibrate those when you're playing against these no snare strategies. Usually could have just completely overrun that AT gun. And perhaps even won the game on the back of that. Would have been so devastating what the Panzer IV could have done. Okay, getting some smoke coming through in the middle. Molotov versus rifle nade. Sniper coming across. But so far, honestly, relatively low action command point's a little bit behind what you might expect at this stage. Come around the corner here. Apply some pressure to the Zis and gets off to a great start. Look at that hit. Zis in some major trouble now. We do have a T-34 about to arrive. But he does get the decoy on the Zis before it manages to shoot at all. Conscripts are there for the recrew though. And T-34 arrives in just the nick of time. If this T-34 hadn't arrived, if it was 30 seconds later, that Panzer IV would have stayed in and probably been able to kill off the Zis. Well, Thompson's working well in close quarters. Only one kill on those Paras so far though. Nice little wire off position there. Imagining the Axis did that. It blocks off that door in that flanking channel. Didn't mention this, but the Axis did get a fuel cache down quite some time ago. So we've had some strong income, and looks like Bissonnette gonna go for Brumbier first, maybe Brumbier Elephant style. Good option on this map, I think, the Elephant, down that central area. Really is just getting sniped off by those Pathfinders. Just to give up the capping attempt. Panzer IV a little bit far back here. All of the shots connecting with the barrels, not with the infantry. Barrage from the Scot. Oh, gets decrewed. Just as it was about to get out of there. But the Allies have managed to stabilise on the victory points at least. KDs, I imagine, are still... Oh, Marvell's actually pulled things back a lot, but Aughmor... Ooh. Here comes the Brumbier. We do have a second anti-tank gun. Oh, I thought that was targeting the Brumbier, but no, it actually knocks out the 222. A follow-up shot from the AT gun. So that goes down. Bissonnette himself could start to use the recon plane to do some spotting, find out where the Brumbier is safe to operate. He's got loads of munis. Not much else to spend them on. Troy rebuilding the Lost Grenadier. Over here. There's a four quite slow getting repaired up here though. Troy maybe a little bit rusty at the moment. There's a Brumbier. Just kill for it. Getting the machine gun upgrade now.
Our lines of supply are disrupted.
And now a whiff of Bissonnette next. I think that's also a fine choice. Try barrage some of these team weapons down for Sir Marvell, who's got a pretty strong hold on this area at the moment. Wouldn't take much for it to collapse though with his team weapons if they get caught out of position a little bit. So far away from reinforcements. But the Axis in control of the VP at the moment in the centre. The squad of paratroopers down from Marvell. No upgrade on them yet, but they are going for the M1919s. He's got a lot of infantry now. Typically you'd have a Jackson at this stage, and does have the resources for it. Start chasing that Brumbier around the map. Brumbier though hasn't been used to its potential. He's fired one shot in the centre, hasn't done anything else with it. Just been sitting AFK. Bissonnette. Okay, he's coming up to the north now, firing off some smoke, trying to cover it, and there we go, great hit on the paratroopers. Well, another barrage from that Scot out the back. Oh, Bissonnette loses the pose in the centre. He's really not living up to his potential, not playing to his potential at the moment. Rebuilding that squad now, and here comes the Brumbier, going to run into the AT gun. It's a strong shot off on it there.
The squad of pioneers has arrived.
Backing away. Thanks for operating over here. I don't know if Troy's come down here with a sweeper for some time, but this is a pretty common mine area. Sort of a risky maneuver. Oh, there goes the sniper. Okay, goes down to the conscripts frontally. Good volley in there. And, oh, looks like the Werfer connected while that happened. 4 kills, 2 team weapon decrews. But the Brumbier not rolling in behind this to try and apply some more pressure. Before takes an engine crit around the corner. Troid's AT gun is in a relevant position. Not set up yet though. Can't attack round through there. The trees are too dense. Here comes that Jackson. And Troid retreated with one of the Grenadiers, but there's a second pack there. Oh, the Jackson's in some trouble. Oh, but this pack misses. So Jackson survives. Oh, that was an unnecessary risk for Troy trying to roll back in there with the engine damage, trying to decrew the Zis or something. This is in trouble. Too much. Good machine gun positioning. Zis only able to connect once. And now under some pressure from the Grenadiers. But the Allies in control of the center of the map. Slow recrewing this anti-tank gun. Marvell. So yeah, the Brumbier, I feel like he's just not using it aggressively enough. It's only taken 1 shot worth of damage. If he's paying attention, he'd know that Aughmor's AT gun hanging on by a thread. This one still hasn't been recovered, and the Jackson also was out for repairs for quite some time. Could have been getting a lot of damage done with the Brumbier, but he's so passive with it. Could have had like probably almost triple the kill count at this stage. Good on the sniper from Troy. Oh, Paris. Really good scatter. Okay, well that sniper actually takes a hit from the Scott. It's unfortunate for Marvell. You think a 6-man squad, pretty much at full health, would survive a barrage like that, but not the case. There we go, the Brumbier getting some work done thanks to that recon plane providing some vision. Some guards out now for Aughmor, but they're getting bullied by the Panzer IV. The T-gun's still back at base reinforcing, so not much she can do against this Panzer IV, but Panzer IV actually pulled back. He felt like he wasn't supported well enough to continue with that aggressive position. Would have been fine, but playing it safe. It's now camped down the far side. A second Panzerwerfer from Bissonnette. He's probably not going to have enough pop cap to squeeze the elephant in. It's only got 1 squad of pyros, but they're getting some telemines down now, which I think is a good idea. We do have rebuild on the re-echelon for Marvell, but no sweeper on them yet. And look at this pack positioning from Troy coming all the way forwards here. The Werfers though, Maxim decrewed, conscripts pinned. Come out of that now. Before hitting vet. We're going for a floater and finishes off the decrewed weapon. A little bit sloppy from Marvell, never recovering that, but maybe he just doesn't want it. Only 1 AT gun though and 1 Jackson. could leave him a little exposed if that AT gun gets decrewed. With the double woofers, it's, you know, reasonably likely to happen.
Listen up! Listen up!
But yeah, Marvell pretty close to the pop cap limit, so options
Fire! Sounds like an MG-42!
not as plentiful. Can't fit that much more into his army. Got a couple muni caches down from Marvell. Going up the Grimbear. We've got a second pyre coming through for Bissonnette, equipping them with the breakthrough packages. Recon plane shot down quite fast there. Oh, Aughmor went for a quad to counter that. Okay. I think it's a fine choice. Because we do actually have Troy with recon planes. I don't think he's revealed anything from this commander yet. Not even has a tactician on his tanks. But yeah, that quad will be very helpful. Ooh, close call on the paras again. Randy is unable to finish them. Meanwhile over here, these did get finished. 2 squads dead for Aughmor. That is nasty. Those woofers getting off to a roaring start. 17 kills on this one already. Panther second from Troy, and it's coming down the far side. He's still got a lot of resources available. Could build another vehicle. And he's not feeling so confident that he wants to dive in there. I do think he probably needs a second pyre for faster repairs, Troy. He's got 2 tanks. And it feels like he's really limited with his vehicle aggression because he's worried about running down here and hitting a mine. So it's not just, you know, for repairs, you also do need to get the sweeping done. It does feel like Troy's been quite limited because of the lack of sweeping. Not playing up, but it's probably not going to last too long with that quad around. Yep, shot down very quickly. Good shots from the Panther though from long range. Offers into the center, but the captain actually dodging forwards of the danger zone. Survives them. And the Allies are doing a reasonable job holding on to the center. They can't really do much down this side, the Allies, because of that Panther. The mid command bunker up here for Troy, providing some good forward presence for the Axis. Marvell loaded up on munis now. But so far, it feels like maybe there haven't been like great opportunities to actually kill a tank. I thought I heard his mines. Couldn't figure out where they were, but yeah, back here on the ramp.
The enemy is taking our territory.
Go for the muni cap and continuing on its way up there. Here comes the T-34 now. The resist is pushed up somewhat, but under pressure from the Grenadiers. It's quite low, but still healthy enough to do some fighting perhaps. Machine gun upgrade on the Panther yet, which is a little strange considering how much munitions Troy has. But here we go, this gets decrewed quickly. Now the T-34 is in some trouble, major trouble in fact. Even the Katyusha come through. Marvell dropping down the planes. T-34 goes in for the ram. Ooh, look at that, it was a pixel off connecting. Jackson coming in from the side, but the damage split between the 2 tanks at the moment. Maxim meanwhile goes down to the woofers in the center. Is out of range. I don't think the planes are going to be able to second attack pass off. No! So maybe one of them managed to lock on, not the second, but yeah, it was a bit risky. Aughmor pushing forwards and got exposed there. Unfortunate for the allies that they kind of split the damage between the two tanks. Of course, you can't select what the planes target, but I think even the vehicles split the damage. But yeah, also unfortunate about that ram. Man, that thing was so close to connecting. It would have completely changed the complexion of that fight, I think, if it had.
We have a fresh grenadier squad.
But yeah, it's tough, you know, if you've got a T-34 and one AT gun. If that AT gun gets decrewed, you're just in so much trouble. In terms of anti-tank, Bissonnette, meanwhile, just suiciding that Pioneer intentionally so he could build the Elephant. But now he's kind of locked up on his composition. With very little in the way of infantry or repairs if he takes damage. I don't know about this for Bissonnette. Usually players don't go for a second Werfer, which is what's causing Bissonnette all these PopCap issues. Destroys Sniper dead in the center. Up the back, trying to barrage the Katyusha, and it goes down. That's one thing you can do with those double Werfers. The rocket densities are so much higher, more likely to result in wipes, even of light vehicles like the Katyusha. And there we go. Bissonnette and Troy both losing some team weapons down the center, but with the Elephant arriving, the Allies are going to have a tall task. Aughmor just invested into an Su-85, and now it's going to have a rough go playing down the center of the map against that Elephant. Marvell does still have that AT gun, but it's out on the far side. Might need to bring that into the middle of the map. Oh, Conscript's in some trouble. S-35 coming across though. Still have this AT gun over here for the recruit. Aughmor. Troy's going to come through and kill it with the P4, maybe the pack. He's down by 100. Ooh. The central VP area is spending quite a lot of time neutral.
Enemy spotted. Coming in for the kill.
Become the Werfers. Strong dodging by Marvell. Oh, but the captain does end up falling. The AT gun does survive. Dropping their bar though as well. It's unfortunate. Okay, looks like Troy giving up on the sniper has picked up a 5th grenadier. Playing up now for Aughmor, and I don't think the Axis have any ATS to deal with that, only a couple tank pintles. Let's get something going here. Dropping down planes, trying to force back the Axis tanks through the center of the map. Shooting off this bunker. Another bunker coming up for Bissonnette, who, you know, his PopCap limit makes sense. Maybe anything else he can do with his manpower. Troy could still squeeze in another tank. It feels like he hasn't been aggressive enough. Oh, the Bunga gets in some major trouble. Planes don't quite connect. Planes are still running though. The Panther's coming back in. It's going to get targeted. Grenadier's dead for Bissonnette. go. Quite a lot of damage onto those Axis tanks from the planes, and Marvell's got news for another set. Here come the double Jacksons. The Elephant is a little bit low. Panther and Pack on hand though for Troyd. Oh boy, here they go. Double Jacksons. Try to circle round. Panther missing all sorts of shots. One Jackson goes down, but there are a couple of Werfers back here. They could be the next target. One down, maybe could get the second. He's going to lose vision. Troyd dropping the smoke. And some shots on the Elephant now, but that Panther there, I don't think it's going to work out. Here comes the Panzer IV now. Panzer IV misses and goes down. Oh, double Su-85s now against the Elephant frontally. Oh, one Su-85 dead. The Axis tanks hanging on by a thread. P4 just abandoned up here as well, and the Su-85 trying to finish off the abandoned tank. Goes down to the Elephant. That did not work out well for the Allies. They lost all sorts of armor. I suppose Marvell does have quite a lot of resources to rebuild with. Oh! The Panther goes down to the planes. They come off cooldown.
One of our panzers has been destroyed.
Okay, well that does salvage things somewhat. They could have knocked out that Werfer as well, the second Werfer. That would have been big, but... He was a bit slow getting out of the targeting zone, and with his pin tool was revealing itself in the fog. It's free now. Risky stuff here from Aughmor, capping with this AT gun on the front lines. The Grenadier could have come up here and cleared it off easily, but ended up retreating out. I'm not sure why. 3 models. Pretty healthy. Su-85 for Aughmor now. Scott dead down here. I think there was that Telemine. Water dead in base? Planes? So as the dust settles, you can see the Axis do have maybe 15 pop cap lead at this stage. So still quite a close match. And the Allies are in control of 2 VPs at the moment and the majority of the map. Axis were struggling a bit for repairs, but got a couple more POs in their compositions now, so shouldn't be an issue going forwards. All sorts of bunkers up at the moment. Command tank for Troyd's going to be the option. Not sure about the command tank. He's not up against any rocket artillery, which is often what command tank can be decent against, you know, reducing the bleed. And it's going to be a howitzer for Aughmor. Axis don't have a strong off-map to clear that. It lasts for quite a while, and you know, on Minsk pocket through the center of the map, the howitzers can be quite effective. They can actually do decent damage to the tanks as well. So I think that's a reasonable choice. LMG on the ground there, by the way. Maybe Marvell can get a Pathfinder across here to pick those up. Okay, and the sniper's nest there. 222 constructed by Bissonnette for the vision. Those recon planes not working out for the Axis. Thanks to the quad. Drops the AP rounds. Drops out the sniper's nest at a good timing. Planes coming in. Rumba actually a little bit low. Should survive, but especially if the Elephant's going to be the one getting targeted. A bit of anti-air as well from the 222. So a decent idea all round. Panther never got this machine gun upgrade, which I find very unusual. Command tank's probably going to take a pass here. It's going for the elephant still. I guess the Pathfinder's provided vision of it somehow. Oh, the AT gun coming in from the side for a couple cheeky hits. Still got one more pass from that solar plane that's still alive. Looks like it's going to lock on to the Brumbier, I think. Nope, got shot down by the 222. In fact, there's a 222 from Troid as well. That's for some more anti-air. Flak planes is quite expensive, but shoot down the planes generally faster. And now a Werfer from Troid, filling the hole left by the lost Werfer of Bissonnette, who has queued up a Panther. Again, it's just going to squeeze into his composition, but he's got so much armor now. Allies have to be careful, they could easily get overrun by the Axis vehicles. 2 Jacksons though for Marvell. Aughmor still struggling a bit on PopCap. Let's get the Howie going now, barraging a little bit further back though, might actually catch the Werfer. A lot of scatter though. Just decrewed quickly and polished off by Troid. SU-85 also very low, looks like it took 2 elephant shots, now out for repairs. So the Axis just creeping their way through the center, and this time Marvell doesn't have the munis for the planes. It's going to make it difficult to defend. We're rolling forwards, looking for another AT gun decrew, but taking a bit of a battering, and here come some bombs. The elephant didn't dodge them at all. It's just coming in from the side, a lot of very low health Axis vehicles, but if they had the planes in this situation, probably could have knocked something out, but unfortunately, no munis. And now Marvell actually went for a fuel cache here. Interesting.
Assault gun ready for action.
Awaiting command.
Now we didn't get any kills with that first barrage, or maybe that was the second one. It's off to a bit of a rough start. Hoorahing away from the Werfer strike. Well done by Aughmor, dodging that clean.
Crew ready.
Man, Jackson could just roll around the corner here and kill this Brumbier. Only the Allies knew.
Enemy has broken our supply lines.
But with the double 222s now, you know, the recon planes won't last as long, so I can understand trying to be a bit more economical with them for Aughmor. Okay, here comes the Howie, this time getting some kills. Not too many though. Oh, okay, engine crit incoming on the Panther. A couple guards rolling up. Pathfinder's dead to a Werfer though. MG dead to the Howie, 6 kills all of a sudden.
We have 200
Got the recon plane coming in now for Aughmor. Fresh Pathfinders for Marvell. Plane did not last long at all. Grenade exchange. I think the Allies coming up on the better end. There's another one. WS-35s. Could find a bit of work down this channel away from the elephant a bit. So they are going around this corner, but the command tank backing out, and he's got the smoke potentially if he needs it. I think that's one thing that maybe the Axis are lacking, some uni caches. Droids let's have those planes, and even though they get shot down pretty quickly, sometimes, you know, that extra bit of damage from the single pass they manage to utilize with their attack does result in a kill on the enemy tanks, especially if they, you know, are very low. Maybe took 2 shots from the elephant, hanging on by a thread. One is dead up there. That's where the planes can really shine, just polishing off those units that are too far back to chase with the rest of your army. These T-35s indeed are going to try to come down the side. Pathfinder's dead in the center. Casualties starting to stack up now. And feeling bold with that AT gun, getting decrewed by the Brumbier. Jackson's in some trouble. Down that goes now. He's dropping down the planes. The Su-85s did force back the Panther over here, but now Troy bringing his pack across to this angle. So the planes are going to buy some breathing room for the Allies, but they're still in some trouble. The Howie it's on cooldown. I'll come through for a second pass the Axis. Have been a bit slack about dodging some of the stuff. Pack position works out very well for Troy's. They're taking some extra damage there. Smoke out from the Scot covering the cap. 222, what's this doing?
Enemy is inflicting losses upon us.
I think he wanted to... I don't know. He didn't need to clear up any pop cap. I don't know what was going on there for Troy. But it's dead now, and that does... Oh, I guess he's trading it out, right? He's building a flak panzer to replace it in terms of anti-air. Alright. Some more immediate ways to deal with the Allied planes. Oh, the guards. The last rocket, I think they're polishing them off. Unfortunate. With barrage not so successful, and Bissonnette losing a green squad in the center very quickly. It's a real just death zone in the middle of the map at the moment. Guys do have maybe some more lateral options coming down this side, getting some flanks going or something, but I haven't attempted them. Definitely would need to send a sweeper up there first, and we do have a slightly forwards retreat point for Marvell. I think it could be a little bit closer to the front. That's alright. Grenadier's dead over here for Bison. He's losing Grenadiers left, right, and center right now. Going for another Pio. Panzer comes up to deal with the Paris. Triple Su-85s, and here they go. They're coming in against the Elephant. Getting off to a decent start against the Ellie. Oh, big damage on the command tank next. There's a real firing line at the moment. Oh, look, anything that's standing in their way getting hammered. Panther, oh, goes down. I think they needed to push forwards a bit to guarantee the kill. That was a close one. Panther was just about out of range. But the Su-85 firing squad. What a weapon that was. Big damage on those Axis vehicles. Like Bissonnette going for a Panther now. Speaking of Panthers, this one coming around the corner for Troy. Bring up his pack now as well. The Vet 3 222 with the spotting scopes here, I think, causing some issues for the Allies. So Panther maybe going to mop up one of these Su-85s. Ooh, maybe not. I guess it took a shot from the Elephant, perhaps. So it still has 20 health left after all that. Oh, man. T-Gun's having a bad time at the moment for Marvell. Both of them decrewed. How are we out the back here? Well targeted, but... Ooh! It's about to say, hasn't hit anything yet. Bissonnette really slack on the dodge. Like one of those ML20 shots connected on the rear edge of the elephant. As you see that happen, you should be getting out of there with your pyros. That's a big loss actually for Bissonnette. He's having to rebuild those pyros. In the meantime, the elephant a little bit low, but no planes from Marvell to really get an aggressive maneuver going. Tried to whiff after a really slow start. I think this is in 3 barrages, only 2 kills. And with that, the Howie hits a Vet 3, as you might expect. Pathfinder is also a very strong vision tool for the allies. Black Panzer doing a good job on the edge, but it looks like the re-echelon baiting. Jackson rolling up. Recon plane dropped down by Aughmor. Double Jacksons, in fact. That Flak Panzer's in trouble for Troyd. So he's just forgotten about it. It's going to go down. Occupied through the center, perhaps. The Elephant has taken an engine crit. The Double Jacksons are poised on the edge. The Elephant's spinning around. Fausted here though, engine damage. 35 is a little bit far back, otherwise they could be slamming home some damage from this angle. Bit of pressure on the AT gun though, that gets decrewed. Nothing to stop these Grenadiers at the moment. And the Allies have just about brought this back in terms of victory points. Very close at this stage. Worth a strike, another strong one. Conscript wiped. 35s. Another command tank, but that smokes out. Elephant, we're going to go for an attack round here, I think, but missing. He's quite slow coming in for the Axis out the back.
The new Grenadier squad is ready.
50 cal crewed by Pathfinders has got some very nice vision. Here comes a close range Werfer barrage. Gets out of there in time. Okay, well done by Marvell. He's dropping down the planes. These 35s poised to roll through the center of the map. Flak Panzer, of course, did get destroyed, but rebuilt by Troyd, so. Big damage though from the planes. Oh, here come the tank destroyers. It looks like they're rolling up on the Elephant. Oh, a lot of bounces. 4 bounces, I think, in a row. Elephant's still alive. There it finally goes down. The Allied tank destroyers getting the job done. And now the Panthers. Oh, just gets hammered. Troyd's pack coming in from the side, but the Allied tanks are in disarray right now. Don't know what they're doing. Brumbeer down. Pack doing his best, but it's just 1H tank gun against the world. S-35's continuing to roll through. Werfer, oh my god, it's a slaughter. Pack of Troyd working well, but now some smoke maybe to block its vision. Panther coming in from the side. The Jackson takes a main gun crit, so can't fight back. Here come the guards though, could get some Russian action going. Don't even need to, perhaps. WS-35's continuing with their pressure. Knock out the command tank, going for the 222 next. Panther coming back, trying to save the day. The pack getting smoked out, limiting its effectiveness for Troyd. There are some pathfinding issues here for Aughmor with his SU-85s. And the pack already up to Vet 3. I mean, Vet 2 rather. Just in this fight alone. Knocks out the Panther. S-35 also falling. Wow. Big move there by the Allies. Largely because the Axis only had one anti-tank gun as their form of infantry-based anti-tank. So they left the door open for something catastrophic like that to happen, especially with Bissonnette being so low on brandies. Just didn't have any like snaring units to slow down the advance of the Jacksons. And what an attack. And as the dust settles, you can see the Axis are now down by about 40 pop cap in their army size.
Panther ready.
We blast our way out the back. I think going into the Ostheer base even this time. Detroit at some stage did repair up that mid bunker though, so not likely to fall here. Try to bring in the flak panzer, but still to be worried about those Jacksons, 2 of them. Here comes the Panther, but the Jacksons are right there. And yeah, Marvell close to pop cap again already. Gonna go for Thompsons again on the Paris. Fresh Panther for Troy. The AT gun for Troy. How much vet? I'm pretty sure it was like almost 0 vet at the start of that fight. Just a vet 3 after just one battle. Just constantly shooting at those tank destroyers. The entire 2 minutes or so. Except for when there's smoke, of course. AT gun pushing up. And here comes the infantry. Got a Howie fires that as well. Close range Howie. Stopping the capping attempts. Troyed with a fresh command tank as well. Not a big fan of the command tank, but will change the shots to kill in some of these vehicle engagements. So maybe that's the idea for Troy. Poking his head around the corner, but the Jacksons were well positioned. It's 2 in return. Now he's doing such a good job holding the central VP area. Door is open down the far side as well, but I don't think Aughmor's really got the infantry to make that work. And they don't need to. The Allies, they've got the center at the moment. They're in control. It's the Axis who are starting to get desperate, down to 80 VPs. Panther's really having trouble getting anything going. I do find it a little strange. Okay, I was going to say, we have anti-tank guns from the Axis. Here comes Troid's, but it's exposed here in front of the T-34. Looks like it's going to get decrewed. He's using some trouble from the double Scots. Okay. Panther looking to come down the flank again for Troy. Planes are ready for Marvell. He drops him down on this Panther. Oh, those are not conscripts, those are combat engineers, so no anti-tank grenades. Planes are still alive, shooting down those planes quite quickly. Decrewed out the back, the double Scots, claiming it actually quite quickly. Big damage onto the Panther, sitting in the circle again. The Werfer doesn't hit too much. Axis really feeling the drain.
The enemy is attacking one of our forward buildings. Good work, crew. That's again.
recon plane shot down quite quickly, and there goes the last P-47.
We have 50 points remaining.
Alright. Axis repairing up. The Jacksons are just containing the Panthers so well at the moment. It's making life very difficult for the Allies. I mean, for the Axis. Recon plane shot down quite quickly, but how I could just barrage anywhere around here. So many Axis units. Looks like the Axis are going to go for a big push in the middle. I've got everything ready to rumble. Here we go. Such a waste of a Werfer barrage there. Didn't hit anything. Not even close to hitting anything. What happened to that AT gun? Looks like Troy picked it up. Here they come now. Oh, Grandy's dead. Oh, more Grandy's dead after a rough start for the Axis. But here come the AT guns. Arrow's dead now in response. Guy's doing a good job holding strong, and the double AT gun's lighting up one of those SU-85s. In fact, the only SU-85. Oh, but look at that. It's just a death zone in the center. Anything that comes into the middle dying so quickly on both sides. Oh, God. Arrow's getting dropped in. Fresh squad of guards for Aughmor. He's looking to just take this one down. 25 remaining. The Panther hoping to come down the side. Oh, and looks like the Axis threw in the towel there. Oof, well, that moment where all of those Allied tank destroyers just rolled through the center of the map, those are the kind of moments you live for when playing these kind of team games, right? And on this occasion, it worked out tremendously well for the Allies. Did huge damage, knocked out almost every Axis vehicle. Took some big casualties themselves, but ultimately, you know, as the dust settled, we're up well and truly on PopCap. But yeah, for the Axis, you know, they left themselves exposed. Between them, they had like one anti-tank gun. They were low on grenadiers for the snares, so the door was wide open, and the Allies walked through it to victory. Well done. Do feel like the Axis had a bit of a weird, like, kind of mid-game. Felt like they were quite far ahead, but Bissonnette didn't really do too much with that Brumbeer for the first 10 minutes or so he had it. Felt like it wasn't used to its potential. It kind of allowed the Allies back into the game after, you know, they were in so much trouble. Maybe from, you know, maybe around the 8 to 20 minute mark. But yeah, they eventually climbed their way back in. Howie, man, what a shot that was. Knocked out both those pyros, really slowed down the repairs, and overall at times the Axis were hurting for repairs, especially, you know, quite often only having one pyro each, which can be hard to keep things going. I do think there were more opportunities for the Axis to play around the edges. They didn't have to keep rolling through the center, especially after the Elephant died. You know, there was nothing really forcing them to fight head on against all these tank destroyers and AT guns and everything. Could have maybe switched over, thought about coming in from the sides, taking advantage of those Panthers' mobility and whatnot. Especially trying to switch maybe a bit more over to the side of Sir Marvell, away from the snares, free up those Panthers to reach their potential, but it didn't really happen. But yeah, GG, you know, Allies knew what they were doing. The constant P-47s with the early caches working out very well for the Allies, and ultimately they are able to win the game. Well, anyway, guys, wrap on that. If you like a game to be cast by me, details are in the video description below. Otherwise, I'll catch you all for the next thrilling installment. Goodbye and good luck.